Hi, I'm Anna, and this is Crafty as Online. I am excited to share with you something new that I'm going to try out. I'm going to try out a process video. So I am part of a Happy Snail Mail exchange group, and one of the themes for this month is this sketch. And so I am going to use my Blitz Your Kits 2023 kit for the July-August Blitz Your Kits to make a card for my exchange partner using this sketch. It's Mojo Sketch 543. It comes from poeticartistry.blogspot.com. I think the elements will work well. The elements in the kit will work well with this layout. So I am going to give it a try and see how it goes for a process video. And we will know how it goes if this video gets edited and uploaded to my channel. So thank you and join me for this fun. So here we go. So I used cardstock from my stash. It is entirely possible that this cardstock came with the kit. It matches the colors and the enamel dots very closely. I tend to separate my cardstock from my kits just for ease of storage. The Pink and Main envelopes are great for storage. Unfortunately, you cannot store an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in it. Here are the stamps. That was the paper you caught there. And then the stencil, I'm going to be choosing which stamps I'm going to use. And here we see the stamps I chose. 3 of the bear stamps that I thought were the very cutest I wanted to use. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use yet, but I figured whatever I wouldn't use, it would get done, used up with my Blitz Your Kits cards. Stuck it in my Misty. I have a scrapbook.com sticky mat to stick my paper to, and that helps it not move when I'm stamping. Condition my stamps because I've never used them before, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink here. I think my ink pad is getting a little dry. I had to stamp it several times to get a full image. So now I'm picking out the sentiment that I want to use, and this I chose Sending Bear Hugs because I thought, again, very cute, and condition that one. And for this stamp I'm going to use the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, best ink for sentiments as far as I'm concerned. I'm pulling out the dies to cut the images out, and the dies, not every kit comes with coordinating dies. I would say the majority of the kits do. Sometimes you get a different die set that maybe a frame die or a bunch of sentiment dies or something, but most of the kits come with coordinating dies for the stamp set. And I then pulled out some gray cardstock. I decided that this would be the card panel I built my sketch on. Again, this could very well have come from the kit. It is the appropriate gray color. Gray matches the other enamel dots in the kit. So I pulled that out, decided to use it, and then I got the stencil ready to go. And this is the Waffle Flower stencil medium mat, and just making sure that it's straight. I was worried my bamboo would be tilted off to the right or something. And here I have the Picket Fence paper pouncers. I have the whole rainbow set as well as the neutrals. I love these. I find I do not get very good stencil blends with brushes, And so the paper pouncers are great for ink. And the ink I'm using here is the Lawn Fawn Jalapeno ink. Lawn Fawn inks are the ones I tend to reach for the most. I purchased a long time ago a set off of Amazon that has a whole range of colors. Some yellows, grays, blues, a couple of greens. It was kind of like a dark and a light of each color family. And I use those the most. They're really good quality. They dry back smooth. They're just really good, and the colors are really fun and go with a lot of the stuff I do. So that is helpful. So I finish up with the stencil, and then I decide I'm going to, I know what part of the card I want to use that for. So I pull out my paper trimmer and cut down the stenciled piece to so that it is the right measurements for the card sketch. And as I start putting together the card, you'll see what I'm doing with it. Here I pull out some paper. I pulled out the heart and that sprinkle paper just like randomly, and then I really liked the way they went together, and I tried, compared some other papers, but I decided those are the papers I'm going to go with. And one of the things that I realized is all of this black or white paper is toner based, so you could foil them. I could foil them with a laminator if I so desired. I do have a laminator, and I do have some of Pink and Main's new cheer foils, so I may try that out. One of the sheets is completely black, which would make for an interesting foiled background, I think, for a card. So we'll see how that goes. There is a circle element on the card sketch, and I pulled out these tonic scalloped circles. The size of the circle called for on the sketch, it was too big for where I stamped the sentiment. So I just went with a scallop circle that was about 1/4 of an inch smaller to make sure I could cut out the entire sentiment and not have any spots where it cut weird. So now we are putting together the card, and I start building the card panel, the design panel first, putting down my pieces. And you saw me tapping that side. Well, it kind of dips down, and I wanted to even that out where it went off the heart pattern paper. So I grabbed a scrap and trimmed off a little piece and glued it down, and then attached it to the card front. And then I do the same thing with the stenciled piece, because that card stock is thin cardstock. I think it's the Michael's Recollection 65-pound cardstock, and so it was very noticeable when it was sitting kind of in that weird section where the different layers of cards crossed. So I put some scrap paper behind it to make sure that it all laid flat and even, and then I glued it down, and I'm using Barely Arts craft glue, Barely Arts glue. It's probably my favorite glue. I've tried different kinds of glue, and this one is probably my favorite. It flows really nicely. They don't stop shipping during the cold months like Art Glitter Glue does, so that's a real convenient thing. I wanted to color in the little cheeks on this panda that I chose, so I used the Spectrum Noir brush markers that I have, and then I tried out the other pandas because they were, like I said, they were all just so cute, and I really kind of liked all of them for that space, but I decided to go with the little panda, the first panda I chose, because I just thought that was the cutest. And gluing that all down and getting it centered and making sure that it's where I want it to be. And then I'm going to glue this to the card base that I made earlier and make sure it's as even as possible, which is what I was doing there. And then I pull out the enamel dots and the polka dot sprinkles that came in the kit. And I love the polka dot sprinkles. They are so cute. But I wanted to add a little more color to this card. I didn't want to go with just black and white, since the green is the only color and the pink in the cheeks. And so I decided to go with the pink enamel dots to bring out the pink in the little panda's cheeks a little more. And I thought that worked really well. This card is a lot cuter than I thought it would be. I just kind of went with it, and it came out really nice, and I liked making it. It was a lot of fun. And then I think the last thing I do is pull in one of the little pandas to glue to the inside. I did not stamp a sentiment on the inside because I'm going to be writing on it to send to the recipient, to the person I'm trading with, but I did want to make sure the little cheeks were colored in, so I did that and then glued the panda down, and that finishes the card. And there we are. We are done with the Mojo Monday, or the Mojo sketch 543. This will be mailed out in the next couple days to my recipient. And I really like the way this turned out. I liked that I was able to include the stencil with the bamboo, and this little bear looking over its shoulder is so cute. So I feel like this really captured it. And yeah, so that is it. That is my first process video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will have a list of the products that are still available in the description box. And thank you so much.